This video is for people who are looking to travel to Asia and you're from the DC, Virginia area because I'm looking to book this flight to Taiwan. Now, this is from Thrifty Traveler. Thrifty Traveler is a service where they send you email alerts every day of the best travel deal that they've found. This was sent 17 minutes ago, so I know a lot of other people are probably trying to snap up this deal today. It's a pretty good price, not gonna last long. If you're a Sky Amex card holder, you get 15% off. That's why it's 83K, but really, it's 120K. I hate it when people do this. I just sensationalize stuff. I'm just gonna make this video, show you my thought process as I'm booking it. This should be pretty simple, but let's hop right on in. I just logged into Delta, got 140,000 miles, so it should cover me one way. So DCA is pretty close to me. So DCA to Taipei, and this is from September to February. And I do have a trip that I'm looking to book in February, so I put February 16th, shop for miles. Make sure to put Delta 1. And the main difference between Delta 1 and first class is for short trips domestically in the US. Delta 1 is like their business class international flights. So let's do Delta 1 because we're trying to fly business class here. We're not trying to sit in cramped economy. Now, I could do a couple of different things, right? I could either depart from DCA, I could depart from IAD, and if I don't find either of those options, I can either find a West Coast or something from JFK. Now, it looks like availability is wide open for February. Let's see what the entirety of the schedule is. It says, I think September? Yeah, September to February. If we look at the price calendar, if it'll load up. Yeah, February, March looks pretty good. All right, so if you look at January, February, of course, near the New Year's time frames, 410,000 miles. But the rest of January, 120,000. Pretty good. And then if we look at December, yeah, December looks really crappy. Look, everything is either not available or 410,000 miles. Let's go back one more month. I want to see what Thanksgiving is like, and also to give you guys an idea of what the prices for these tickets can be as you get closer to the December holidays. All right, looks like it's not too bad. It's October, November, even close to Thanksgiving, it's fine. As you can see here, like when I travel, I really hate traveling in December, New Year's time, because it's just impossible to find a good ticket. All right, so DCA to Taipei. Let's pick Sunday because it's easy to travel on a Sunday. Typically, if I am many hours in seeing a flight alert, then I don't even bother with going on Sunday because those are usually the tickets that are gone first. All right, so we see here this is first class in Delta One suites, and others. So this means that probably for the domestic flights, it's first class, and then once you start to travel internationally, it's the business class Delta One suites. Yeah. Now I'm going to look at the hours traveled, 22 hours. It's 22 hours from DCA straight to Taipei. Pretty nice. Main thing is there's a lot of stops. One says one, two, there's like a 3-stop flight. That's a lot of stops. Good thing about a lot of stops is you get breaks from sitting in your plane and you can go out and stretch your legs in the airport. But yeah, it looks like most of these are 3-stop flights, mainly because I'm flying from such a small airport, which is DCA. Let's see what we got coming up IAD. And remember, this is Sunday, so if I put in Tuesday, I'm probably going to get better availability. Or even Saturday, I'll get better availability. But Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, usually my go-tos in terms of finding really good business class flights on points. It's February 16th from Dulles. So Dulles, the big international airport around here. Still 3 stops. That's interesting. And there's a stop in Korea before going to Taipei. It's not like you can hang out in Korea that long either. It's 45 minutes here. Still good, 120,000. But it looks like the length of the flight still pretty much the same, 22 hours, 24 hours. All right, so since most flights departing from IAD or DCA are 3 stops, and also because the layovers are really short, I want to try to find non-stop flights. You know, this might require me to fly into another airport. But that's okay because I'll have more control over the schedule as opposed to succumbing to these business class flights where I only have 45 minutes or 30 minutes a layover, as you saw in the video. So now I'm going to use layover hacking in order to find these nonstop flights and just get a better schedule for my business class award flight. So let's hop right back on in. A lot of these are going from Seattle to Taipei. So one other thing, if you want to go from IAD to Taipei on a just a two-stop flight, is you can go from the DC area, try to find a ticket to Seattle, like Southwest or American Airlines, because there's a big hub here. IAD is a really big hub for United. So you can fly like American, Southwest, United to Seattle. Now I'm using Seattle because using what's called like layover hacking, where I look at the layover cities to try to find the good business class tickets. And we can try that out. Let's see. I'm probably not going to do this because I don't want to spend money taking an economy class flight to Seattle, but let's pretend that you don't have any choices from your home hub. Oh, look. So this is interesting. So we did the layover hacking thing, right? And then from Seattle to Taipei, it's 98,000 points, which is pretty good. So you're saving about 22,000 Delta points. And you just got to figure out, okay, flying to Seattle, how much money are you willing to spend? Most likely, that amount of money is going to be worth 22,000 that you're saving by booking this flight. The main thing you got to know is if you're flying to Seattle, got to make sure you get there, especially with bags, right? Don't forget bags. Got to be able to get there, I'd say around 12 o'clock, maybe 12:30 to be on the safe side, because you have to arrive in Seattle, pick up your bags, go back into security, and then do all that jazz where you check in, all that stuff. This is not a bad option if you're trying to save on points. I might do this. So let's keep this just like in mind for now. I'm going to create a new tab because I do like the idea of saving 22,000 points, but let's see if we can find one way. See what Tuesday looks like since people shop for plane tickets less on a Tuesday. And then we're going to compare like what do we want to do, right? Do we want to fly economy to Seattle and then take that nonstop for 98K? Or do we want to spend the extra 22,000 for convenience? I'm really leaning towards the Seattle one. So it doesn't matter if you fly on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Sunday, Saturday, you're pretty much going to get the same type of schedule where, yeah, take these like flights to go to Seattle. I basically just have to make a decision between do I want to fly 3 stops, bags just go all the way through, I just get off and not worry about checking in, checking back out, and going to security. Something I'm also worried about is you look at these layover times, right? Like here in, what's DTW? Is that Dallas? No, it's Detroit. Here, there's only a 30-minute layover. And then Seattle, 55 minutes is not too bad. But here, 53-minute, 31-minute layover in Seattle. So if the plane arrives even a smidge late or the gate is on the other side of the airport, this might be a little bit sketchy. Yeah, I think that's gonna make my decision final. These layover times are too small for my comfort. Especially if you think about if you're checking 2 bags for an international trip and you want to make sure the bags get there on time, maybe there's a higher chance of bags getting delayed or lost because 30 minutes is not that long of a time. So my next step, go on Google Flights, find a trip. Is one way. That's economy's fine. Go from DSA to Seattle, and let's see here. This is our save tab. This is Seattle Taipei on a this is on a Monday. So we gotta get there by 12:30. Let's see what we got in terms of options here. 159 one way, not too bad. Especially for a positioning flight. Oh, here we go. American. Oh, I don't know about flying one stop to go there. It's just all one stop. Yeah, when I'm taking a positioning flight, I'm really cautious about taking a one stop flight because if that layover gets delayed in some way, you're screwed on your positioning flight. But no worries because here we go. Got a winner here. Alaska Airlines gets there pretty early, 9:45. That's fine because let's see if Seattle has lounges. What are the lounges? Yes, so it looks like Seattle Airport has Centurion Lounge, lots of lounges. Oh, actually, you should check if Delta has a lounge because you're going to be flying Delta. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cool thing about flying business class is that you get free access to the lounge. You don't need, I know these cards like the Platinum card, they're expensive, annual fee, but if you're flying business class for free, you get into the lounge for free. Yeah, that takes care of the lounge issue. So we're gonna book this flight, 3:15. We have an Alaska Air flight that gets us there February 16th from 9:45 a.m. This is on a Sunday, so if I take this, then need to worry about traffic. Let's make sure there's no other flights that I'd want to take instead. I'm gonna make sure I change it. Where do I change the timing here? Times, here we go. So departure, actually arrival, we want to make sure we get there at least by 12:30. We filter it out. There's a United flight. This actually might not be too bad. United flight. The thing I want to do here when I'm booking my positioning flight is to figure out what the refundable ticket is. So let's see here. Looks like it's $200 for a refundable ticket. Let's just make sure by going to their website. ID, Seattle. I think we're going that Sunday, right? 16th. Not miles. One way. Okay. All right, so this is loaded up. I'm gonna click on refundable fares. Looks like refundable is 250 bucks. So, and this is the correct time. Okay, so 7 a.m. refundable, 250 bucks. That's pretty good because if my plans change, then I could refund it and get all my money back. And that's the great thing about buying this flight on points. If my plans change, I can cancel it and get it back in terms of points. You can cancel tickets 10 minutes before, up to 10 minutes before departure time without a fee. Yeah, so if I decide 10 minutes before this flight that I'm not going to go, then yeah, I get all my points back. So that's the great thing about points flexibility. So that's pretty much it. Just to recap, I got an email going to Taiwan from Thrifty Traveler, and then we went on Delta's website to do just a couple of searches, right? We started with DCA IAD because that's where my nearby hubs are, and it was just a lot of three-stop flights. So I looked at the layovers to see, okay, where are the straight nonstop flights going to Taipei? We found that it is actually Seattle. And so after I found out that not only is it nonstop from Seattle to Taipei, but that it's much less in terms of the points that I have to spend, then we go on Google Flights to try to find a good positioning flight. And making sure that the positioning flight is nonstop because you don't want to position to go on your fancy business class flight and then all of a sudden you can't make it, right? And then it's pretty much it. You just take this, you book it, and then have fun with it. And hopefully that helps. Now you notice that I was only able to book one way because I didn't quite have enough points to book the return trip. And if you're in that situation, I have a quick guide on how to double the amount of points that you have for airlines and airline awards. Just comment double below. Be happy to get that to you. All right, see you in the next video.